Hey everyone, welcome back to Pop Incursions. I'm Nico and today I am going to be breaking down and explaining the Marvel's post-credit scene. Spoiler warning.
Dreaded it.
Oh darling, I'm no ordinary woman. I'm the goddess of death.
Now I speak for myself. Trespassing in this city and on this planet.
Case closed.
Okay. The 9 realms will know freedom. And the cosmos.
We're not busy gaslighting you, they're threatening you with murder. That's what all the podcasts are about.
Avengers!
I'm sorry, my king, but we're out of time. I'm ready to give my closing argument.
It's Shanxi.
Higher, further, faster.
That's the sound of lightning.
Exhausted my patience.
I'm a black man carrying the stars and stripes.
So the Marvels ends with a pretty big scene seemingly tying into the next MCU film, Deadpool 3, and into the multiverse saga as a whole, as well as possibly even setting up the next saga after Avengers Secret Wars. In the Marvels, Captain Marvel aka Carol Danvers, Photon aka Captain Monica Rambeau, and Miss Marvel aka Kamala Khan are all entangled together through their light-based powers, resulting them in switching places anytime they use their powers. This is because Supremor Dar-Ben, the leader of the Kree, dug up one of the quantum bands which were used to create the UNTN, or the Universal Neural Teleportation Network, also known as jump points, which are used to teleport across space rather than flying in light years. We have seen the use of the UNTN, the Universal Neural Teleportation Network, or jump points, in Guardians of the Galaxy films, Captain Marvel, and even the Avengers films. However, the quantum bands were forged as a pair, and the corresponding band to what Dar-Ben has is actually with Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan, who received it from her grandmother. Dar-Ben uses her quantum band and Cosmi Rod, or universal weapon, to open new jump points across the UNTN network to siphon resources from other planets to save Hala, the Kree homeworld, from dying. However, while trying to siphon our solar system sun, Dar-Ben is fought by Captain Marvel, Photon, and Miss Marvel, or collectively, the Marvels, and ends up using the bands to tear a hole in the fabric of space-time, causing an incursion. Photon theorizes a way of fixing the incursion before it destroys this or both universes, which of course we learned from Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, from Earth 838 in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes, destroying one or both.
Photon theorizes that the same amount of energy used to open the rift is required to close it. So, Miss Marvel uses the quantum bands, aka her bangles, alongside Captain Marvel, and they blast their light energy into Monica so she can close the tear. This is the moment that Monica truly becomes Photon.
Your mom would be proud. Higher, further, faster. Higher, further, faster.
By absorbing all of that energy, she is then able to redistribute it towards the tear and to close the incursion. However, to do so fully, she must sacrifice herself by having to stay on the other side of the incursion to make sure she closes it fully, meaning she will be stuck in the different universe. Later, Monica wakes up in a hospital bed connected to an IV and monitors. But who is sitting beside her? A Maria Rambeau variant. But poor Monica thinks that this is her mother from our 616 universe, and she essentially breaks down.
Mom, I've missed you so much.
I have to say, Teyonah Parris is a brilliant actress. I love Photon and she did a great job in this scene. Naturally, this Maria is confused because she doesn't know our Monica's story. The fact that this is essentially the opposite of what Monica went through in the blip also doesn't help either, as it will just remind her of what happened. As a reminder, we saw in WandaVision that Monica was snapped while sitting in a chair at the bedside of what was her mother going in for surgery to remove cancer. However, when Monica came back from the blip, her mother wasn't there because she passed away. This Maria is confused, but she's also surprised to hear Monica refer to her as Mom.
I've missed you so much.
Likely meaning that Maria never had any children in this universe, and there is no Monica in this universe either. We then see something walk by, and a familiar voice says,
"How's our mysterious visitor?"
Maria says she seems a bit disoriented, and then we see the other being in the room, and it is Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer. But this doesn't look like the Beast we know Kelsey Grammer plays in the X-Men films of 2000s. The last time we saw that version was in 2014's Days of Future Past, which was when Kelsey Grammer used prosthetics to portray the character. Personally, this is a much better looking Beast and a much more comic accurate Beast. Kelsey Grammer would have worn a mocap suit just like Mark Ruffalo does for the Hulk, Tatiana Maslany does for She-Hulk, and Josh Brolin did for Thanos. If Beast had looked like this in the X-Men films, I would have been a huge fan, and if this is the Beast we're going to be getting in the MCU, I am so here for it. I think he looks brilliant. He even has the protruding canines in his mandible, and he looks like Beast and not a blue hairy man. When Monica asks what happened, where are we, Beast replies,
"We were hoping you could tell us. All we know is that Binary found her."
Meaning that in this universe, Maria is the comic hero Binary. We can also see on the vitals monitor what looks to be a brain, most likely Monica's brain as they're monitoring her, and this could also be a little nod to another big brain in the X-Men house, Cerebro, because of course Cerebro means brain in Latin and other Romance languages. We can also see at the corner of the screen an X, which is of course the X-Men logo, which kind of confirms that this is the headquarters for the X-Men, or at least their medical facility. Beast then gives Monica and Binary his theory on what happened to Photon.
"You somehow crossed through a tear in space-time. You are now in a reality parallel to your own."
While we only see two characters from this universe in the scene, we hear of a third when we hear Beast say,
"Charles asked for an update."
Charles asked for an update, confirming that a Professor X, Charles Xavier, does indeed exist and is alive in this universe, unlike in many other universes where unfortunately somehow he's killed. When Beast leaves the medical bay, we can see an X-door design just like in the X-Men mansion, also known as the School for the Gifted Youngsters that Professor Xavier runs, and is of course the X-Men HQ building. So this seemingly confirms that we are indeed in the basement of Professor X's mansion, and most likely as well the HQ for the X-Men in this universe. When Beast leaves, we can see he is not just wearing his lab coat, but also what looks to be comic accurate X-Men uniform trousers, which are mostly blue but tapered yellow at the bottom, and he is shirtless under the lab coat, making this the most comic accurate Beast we have seen in live action. We can also see Binary wearing a comic accurate suit and wearing what I assume is this universe's version of the quantum bands, aka the bangles, which of course were integral to Darben's plan and the cause of the incursion. Binary then asks Monica,
Who are you?
and Monica just sighs, oh, because she knows I have to explain my entire existence to Binary. So what does this mean? Yes, Monica passed through the incursion or the tear in space-time and landed in a universe which has the X-Men. But the question is, which universe? Is this a Fox X-Men universe? And if so, which? Is it the first kind of round of X-Men films, or the second, Days of Future Past maybe? Is it Deadpool universe or Logan? Is it the X-Men animated series? Could it be the 838 from Multiverse of Madness? Or a brand new one? Another option could be a branched timeline of one of those universes. That would allow for it to be the X-Men we met in the Fox universe, but be introduced in Deadpool 3 while being more aligned to the MCU to make amendments like improve the appearance of characters like Beast and to make things more comic accurate. This is possible, of course, thanks to Loki and Sylvie, but now mainly Loki, as he is allowing the timelines to branch and allowing those branches to exist. Before we talk about Deadpool 3 possibilities, let's first answer the question of who is Binary? Binary is a very new Marvel Comics hero introduced in 2021. This is a duplicate of Carol Danvers, who was trapped in a Faraday cage and is the result of when Carol's photon blasts take the shape of a person. A Faraday cage is a container made of conducting material such as wire mesh or metal plates that shield what it contains from external conducting forces. In the comics, Binary cannot speak, but obviously in this universe she can. This isn't the first Maria Rambeau variant we have met that became a Captain Marvel. In fact, it is the second. In Multiverse of Madness, we met the Captain Marvel of that universe, and it was too a Maria Rambeau variant. The Binary of this universe is also just a version of Captain Marvel. So, the Maria Rambeau variant of our 616 universe seems to be one of the few who didn't fly Dr. Lawson's Lightspeed engine that day. And we know that in the Marvels, from a flashback during the blip, that Carol even said it should have been you.
It should have been you that day. That stupid race to the hangar.
Now, we did meet one other Captain Marvel variant in What If Season 1 Episode 7, What If Thor Was an Only Child. So far, the Maria Rambeaus outweigh the Captain Marvels because the only time we have met a Carol Danvers Captain Marvel is when she's Captain Marvel. However, when we meet Maria Rambeau's, we've seen obviously one that who wasn't a Captain Marvel and two that basically became a version of Captain Marvel. Binary, for me, is almost just a synonym for Captain Marvel. So I think the idea is, in most other universes, Maria Rambeau became Captain Marvel. What else reminds me of Multiverse of Madness is that in the 838 universe, the Sorcerer Supreme, Mordo, guards the Darkhold because of how dangerous it is. And now, in this X-Men universe, Binary is guarding the quantum bands, likely because of how dangerous they are. They can cause an incursion. So it's looking like our 616 isn't also responsible with their supernatural and powerful artifacts and relics. Just look at the Infinity Stone situation. No one was capable of guarding them, and some should definitely not have been given them to guard in the first place. Cough cough, the Collector. So the big question is, what does this mid-credit scene mean for our MCU? But most people also want to know, does it connect to Deadpool 3? So what it means for the MCU in general is that we can probably expect to see much more comic accurate characters, suits or costumes, and even just personalities. Look at Beast. I'm sure when the X-Men are truly rooted in our MCU, in our main MCU universe, that he will look as good as this, and all other characters will also look as good as they can be and be as comic accurate as they can be. I also imagine for other characters and team-ups such as Fantastic Four, they too will be as comic accurate as possible. So Deadpool 3 is under 6 months away, and we are only days away from the rumoured Super Bowl teaser trailer for Deadpool 3. So in my ideal world, yes, I would like to see Photon appear in Deadpool 3, and we know little of what the plot is. We know that Deadpool and Wolverine travel the multiverse in a sense, and that could be how they get into our MCU 616 universe. Perhaps that they hear of this mysterious visitor from one of the X-Men in a universe that they visit, and they approach Monica because she may be able to help them get to another universe. If she's able to fix incursions, maybe she's able to cause them. Or more kinda logically, X-Men will probably ask Photon for her help because Deadpool and Wolverine are the ones causing the incursions, and we could see Photon team up with the X-Men to face Deadpool and Wolverine. There must be a reason why they chose this story and journey for Photon. So if she isn't in Deadpool 3, then she has to be in Avengers 5 and or 6, because she is a very powerful character, and they wouldn't just send a very powerful character to another universe if there wasn't a reason or a good story behind it. So we could see Photon be a key player in Avengers Secret Wars, especially if she's capable of fixing incursions, but also she spent a lot of time by then with the X-Men. So she might be able to help our heroes fight the X-Men to ensure our universe's survival. I can also see Photon teaming up with this version of Binary and giving us a form of a mother-daughter duo that we don't really see in the MCU. Photon could also turn out to be a vital character when the mutants do enter our MCU, because she will have learned a lot about mutants. This could be key info and valuable experience for someone who will hopefully be on the Avengers roster one day. To learn more about Photon's journey in the Marvels and to check out the little details and Easter eggs that you might have missed, check out the Marvels film breakdown on the channel. What do you think Photon's role is going to be in the coming years of the multiverse saga? Is she going to be in Deadpool 3, or is she going to wait till Avengers Secret Wars to show us the big payoff of her big sacrifice? I know there's been a lot of discourse online about Beast's new look. I love it, but what do you think? Do you like the prosthetics more, or are you like me and like the CGI? Let me know in the comments below or via my socials, which you can find in the description. I'd really appreciate it if you could give the video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button for more Marvel and Marvel Funko Pop videos. I'm Nico at Pop Incursions. See you next time.